In this video, we are going to investigate proteins. This is chapter 2.15 to 2.16. Proteins are a type of macromolecule formed from polypeptide chains, which are built from amino acids. The purpose of proteins is vast. There are many different types of proteins, each with a unique purpose based upon its shape. Some proteins are used for structural support, such as the keratin found in our fingernails and hair. Other proteins are protective, like the antibodies in our blood. We have regulatory proteins that can turn on and off different processes. Proteins are important for movement and transport, both on a cellular level and a macro level. If we think about a cellular level, there are proteins that actually walk around in our cells, pulling vesicles and taking materials where they need to go. On a larger scale, proteins are important in our muscles. If we did not have actin and myosin proteins in our muscles, we would not get muscle contractions, and therefore we as a whole organism would not be able to move. Again, proteins are vastly diverse, and their functions are diverse as well. And this is all based upon their shapes. So structure, protection, regulation, contraction, transportation, catalysts for chemical reactions. These are all types of functions that we see in proteins. So again, proteins are a macromolecule, a very large molecule built of monomers or smaller pieces. The monomer for a protein is an amino acid. Amino acids are put together in strings called polypeptide chains. These polypeptide chains are then organized into 3D structures that we call a protein. We learned in the last short video clip about the 4 levels of protein structure. Remember, proteins are built of amino acids. These are the monomers. There are 20 different amino acids that we can use to string together to make our proteins. The primary structure has to do with the order of these amino acids or sequence of amino acids. So the primary structure is sort of like beads on a string, or beads on that pipe cleaner. Secondary structure has twists and foils or zigzags. These 3D structures are small and are usually due to interactions between the different amino acids. We often see hydrogen bonds helping form these twists and pleats. Tertiary structure is the 3D shape of our polypeptide chain. We now have folding and bending occurring in that secondary structure when these secondary structures, the helix or twists and pleats, start to interact with each other as well. Some proteins stop here, and they only have primary, secondary, and tertiary structure. Other proteins go on to quaternary structure. Quaternary structure is when 2 or more polypeptide chains are connected together into one functional unit or protein. A good example of this is hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in our blood. Hemoglobin is actually 4 separate subunits, or 4 polypeptide chains that connect together and work in conjunction as one protein. If you haven't done so already, make sure you go back and watch the video with the pipe cleaner visualization of protein structures. Proteins are an essential dietary component. Without proteins, we're going to see trouble with growth, repair, and replacement of cells. It is important to note that when we eat protein in our diet, say we have a chicken sandwich or some eggs, our bodies digest that protein and break it down to the building blocks, the amino acids. Our cells then take those amino acids and use them to build our own unique set of proteins. So we are not actually using a full protein that came from a chicken or a full protein that came from a steak. Okay? We break down those proteins from other places in our diet, and we use the building blocks to make our own. That being said, we can look at essential amino acids. The essential amino acids are the ones that we cannot build ourselves. So we have to eat these amino acids in our diet. Other amino acids we can actually build or synthesize during different chemical reactions. So these are the non-essential amino acids. So remember, when you think about essential amino acids, they are essential in our diet because we cannot make them. If we talk about proteins, there are incomplete proteins, which means that they only have some of the essential amino acids in them. A complete protein has all the essential amino acids, so by eating that one type of protein, we get all those essential building blocks that we cannot make ourselves. There are also complementary proteins out there, ones that if eaten together, we get a complete set of our essential amino acids. These are particularly important for people on specialized diets, such as vegetarians. So this table shows us many of the types of proteins, complete and incomplete. So remember, a complete protein has all of those essential amino acids, the ones that we cannot build ourselves. We see that most of the meat proteins, or animal proteins, from things like milk, chicken, and beef, are complete. They have all the amino acids that we need. Tofu is another good example of a complete protein. It has all the essential amino acids. Other types of proteins are incomplete. So often our plant materials are actually lacking one or more essential amino acid. A complementary set of proteins are going to be two or more foods that we can eat together to get all the essential amino acids that we need. So in this case, we see that white rice and lentils are complementary proteins. White rice by itself is missing the amino acid lysine. Lentils by themselves are missing methionine and cytosine. If we put these two together, though, we get the full set of essential amino acids that we need. In this short video, we've talked about proteins, their functions and structure, as well as their importance in our diet. Make sure you review the learning objectives posted in Blackboard for this lesson.